Hey guys, I wanted to share a experience I've had with a new product I bought. Actually used the Mobi Wi-Fi card from Eye-Fi. We used it for the third time today on a shoot. What it does basically is if you shoot with this in a compatible camera, which I've got a T3i here, Canon T3i, which is compatible, then it performs just like a normal SD card, but it also will create a wireless hotspot, and it'll transmit the photos as you take them to a tablet, a cell phone, iPod Touch. It goes either iOS or Android, or it'll also transmit to a MacBook, OS 10 or Windows machine too. As long as it can, connect to the same wireless network, which this little card here, which is amazing, same size as a normal SD card, but there's actually it actually creates a Wi-Fi network on this card. Most of the innards of this card are like basically a router. Maybe not a router as much as just an access point, because it doesn't have to really route much, but pretty cool. We've actually used this 3 times now, and we've used it with my wife. She'll either watch what I'm shooting, because we have a 5-year-old daughter that's a model, and I shoot her, and while I'm shooting, my wife watches, like if we're on a outdoor shoot away from the house, don't really want to bring a lot of gear, my wife will kind of watch the shots on her phone, and she'll look at the shot, say, hey, get this angle, focus is bad there, had a little motion blur, you're a little hot, you need to bring exposure, and just all those little things she can actually see on the fly and kind of help me. I can catch a lot of the more technical sides of the photography, but if she's looking for a certain angle or a certain look, things like that, that helps her plan the shot, helps pose, all that stuff. So it's actually been a pretty useful tool. We use it, out on location, and we also use it when we do our studio setups. We'll use the MacBook Air whenever we do the studio setup. So it's pretty cool. I want to go ahead and show you guys how it works. And before we do that, let's go ahead and take a look at the product itself. This is the Eye-Fi website here. And the card I bought, let's see, products, there we go. The card I bought is actually the smallest of the Mobi cards, 8GB card. Now, one thing you got to keep in mind whenever you do shoot with this card is that you do have to take your shots. If you shoot RAW, like I always do, then you do have to shoot RAW plus JPEG to make this work, because it only transmits on the fly. It only transmits the JPEG shots. So for preview purposes, you got to shoot RAW plus JPEG. 8 gig is a lot, so I found it to be enough. I mean, unless you just do tons and tons of shots. If you look at the website here, it says 4,000 photos. That's not really accurate, because I mean, really, if you're doing RAW plus JPEG, let's see, what do you probably 12. I don't know. You could probably do maybe 800 or so, which is still that's a ton. That's a ton of pictures. So no worries there. But yeah, this is the one I got, and you can also see here they have a thing on the site where it actually tells you how well it works with your camera. So let's say I had an Insignia. I don't even know what that is, but let's say I had an Insignia NS DV720p. I want to use it with. Doesn't work. Tells me that right off the bat. Okay, cool. So what I really do have is the Canon, and they have, oops, they have every model here. So I've got the Canon T3i. Then you go to their compatibility site and it tells you what each one of their cards, any kind of issues they may have, whatnot. So it's pretty cool. And you can also buy the cards directly from, let me show you where the cards can be bought. You can buy the cards directly from this page. So like the one I got was $49.99. Usually a decent 8GB card, which nobody really buys anymore, probably about $10 to $12. So I'm paying about a $38 premium, you know, for having the wireless capability, which is worth it for me in our use case. Your mileage might vary. I mean, the way you use your camera, the way you do your photography, you might not need this. Might not make sense for you. So think about how you use, you know, what kind of photography you do. If you take a lot of landscapes, this might be totally useless to you, and I totally understand that. For our case, it works really well. Let's just get more pictures faster when time is a premium, because when you're working with 5-year-olds, you've got a finite amount of time to get your work done. If you don't get your work done in that amount of time, once they're ready, that's it. You can't get it. You can't get a few more shots like you can with an adult. When they're done, they are done. So let me show you guys how this works. So I've got my T3i, and basically just put the card in, just like normal. And when you turn it on, this is something that's important. I'll show you the menu screen here. Hopefully. Might be upside down-ish. And still. Well, should be. No, that's right side up. Huh? There we go. Just kind of backwards looking from here. But if you go here, then you should see Eye-Fi right here. And from there, you can enable or disable the Eye-Fi card, and that'll change its behavior. That's it. It's pretty simple. So every time you take, whenever you have the Eye-Fi card in, every time you take a JPEG, like a shot with a JPEG, it'll automatically start transmitting from the card. And if you look at the computer here, I've already installed the software. You can download the software from their website here. But you see, this is the like live detector thing here that's running in the background. And you can tell right now I'm actually on, this is my Wi-Fi network, Simon Fast. I'm on that Wi-Fi network now. But let me take a shot. I'll kind of give you guys an idea of what happens when you take a shot. I'll take the lens cap off. Okay. 85's got a pretty long minimum focal distance. So I take a shot, and if you notice, it's going to take it a second on the first shot that I take. Right now, this is transmitting. You can see this blinking right here? That means it's transmitting. And if you look on the computer now, see this? It's changing networks because it's connecting to, and here comes the picture now. So it downloaded the picture. There's a little thumbnail. And if we click here now, my Wi-Fi network automatically changed to this Eye-Fi card. So that was automatic. I didn't do that. So that first image can take a few seconds whenever it switches over. If we look now, if you go to your pictures, Eye-Fi creates a folder for the date, and it throws all the photos in there. So then we can look in this view here, and here's where the photos will go. And let me go ahead and take another one. And this time I'll take one of the Macs. Let's see, I'm at full screen. I might not see the little thumbnail. Okay, we see the thumbnail come in. And then over here, now we can see, we can, you know, preview it and all that stuff. You can zoom in, check your focus, all that good stuff. But yeah, it's, I mean, it works pretty well. It works very well, actually. The only time I've really had issues is when I rapid fire, bam, 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 a lot of shots, and I'll have 5 of them trying to write to the buffer. And of course, it's writing RAW plus JPEG. This isn't the fastest camera in the world. Probably not the fastest regular SD card in the world in these Eye-Fi cards. But I notice they can get kind of behind on transmitting because it's having to write file. It seems like it doesn't automatically transmit on that after you stop taking the photos until you take one more photo. Let me give you an example. So I'm going to just take a picture of a lamp and then some blinds, and then I'll take a picture of a jar. Bad picture and let's see how quickly they come in on the computer now. This is something I've noticed. Maybe it'll work. It's not a huge issue. The photos always get there one way or the other. Oh, they're coming in now. But you see there was a pretty good bit of lag there, which maybe is to be expected. I don't know. And there, that was the one where you heard the slow shutter speed. But let's try again. Let me do 5 shots this time. All of the lamp this time. Maybe. Okay, 5 shots, rapid fire. So we should be looking at like 40 seconds, something like that. But like I said, whenever I have had this happen before, the way I've rectified it is to just simply wait and then take one picture about 30 seconds later, and then it catches up and puts them all there. Oh, here they come. So it's proven me wrong. It's downloading 5 shots of that. That's not bad. I mean, I took 5 shots, and what, maybe 40 seconds later, you've got the 5 shots on the computer. I mean, the way I use it, that's fast enough. If you need absolutely instant feedback, maybe a tethered solution is going to be best for you. But I think this is pretty good. Another way I think you get a little more speed is if you have a higher end camera. I think like some of the 5Ds, like the 5D Mark III may have it, where when you open up the memory card slot, it has 2, I think some of them have 2 memory card locations, like one for SD, one for compact flash. And I think you can choose to write like RAW to one and then JPEG to the other. And I noticed someone the other day was able to write on Digital Rev, I think they were able to write RAW and then small JPEG. My only option here is to write RAW plus large JPEG. If I do RAW, I got to go large JPEG on the JPEG file. It'd be probably better to do the small JPEG. All you're doing is preview anyway if you're shooting RAW. So if all you're shooting is JPEG, everything's going to be faster anyway. I think that this will probably fly because the computer's not having to write the big RAW file too. So as a matter of fact, we can test that. I'll go ahead and shoot just some straight JPEGs here. Let's see what happens. And you can hear my computer, my messages came in and then it went out. Probably automatically, since I didn't shoot for a while, probably automatically went back, went back to my Wi-Fi again. So, which is important to keep in mind because that also means that the next time I go to shoot, that it's going to take it a couple of seconds just to connect. So let's see how fast it runs this time whenever I'm shooting small JPEGs. I'm gonna rapid fire like 10 small JPEGs. And the last one, I'll take a picture of a webcam. Here we go. So 10 small JPEGs and a webcam. Now this time it's got it, since there was a little lag time, it's got to reconnect. You can see here. Let's see, it should go ahead and disconnect from my regular Wi-Fi network. And it did. Now it's on Eye-Fi. Now we should start seeing, look how fast these files are transferring in. These are small size JPEGs. So that is really quick. I did 10 JPEGs, and then there's the last one. So all 11 came in like bam, bam, bam. Now watch this. I'll do one more time. I'll take some pictures here. Alright. Yep. And that's really fast now. This time it didn't have to connect. But overall, downsides, I'll say, I think the price is pretty fair, you know, for the technology that's inside of that little card. I think the price is right. Compatibility is right. It works with all the major cameras that you'd want to use it with. It works with Android and iOS devices. OS 10 and Windows. Compatibility is great. The only thing I've really run into, range, not super awesome. Really, once you get past about 20 feet, the range really starts to hurt. And some of it might be on where your card actually is, because like on this one, the memory card is in the grip right here. I don't know if all cameras are like that, but I actually cover it with my hand. So I don't know what that, what that has to do with it. Maybe if the memory card was over here, it might work a little better. The range is not awesome. It will always catch up. If it falls out of range and then it comes back in range later, it catches up and goes ahead and transmits. Overall, for our use, been pretty cool. Check it out. If you have a similar use, check it out. I mean, if you don't, obviously this is just good information. But thanks a lot for watching, guys. And if you have any questions, put them down in the comments, and I'll be sure to take a look and answer any that pop in. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.